Hit the button.
Oh, shit.
And too late. We're already live.
Uh,
You see, after we hit the button, that's when it started going downhill.
yeah.
So let me get your take on what you feel like silver is doing right now. Because with the markets and the tariffs, it has been going bonkers. Like back and forth, up and down. Don't even know what's going on anymore.
Um, really have not been keeping an eye on the silver or gold market.
Okay. Last time I looked at silver, it was 31.15.
Okay. So
So
it's up a little bit.
it's up a little bit, but I'm just wondering, is what is it going to do? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Is it going to steady out? Is it like how is the market going to react to tariffs being in place or tariffs getting purged? Like I'm really curious.
Um, Personally, I would think that if there was going to be a big increase on the silver market, it would have already happened.
Yeah.
So um, once everything starts coming down and getting back to normal activity and stuff, I do see silver staying up in price, but I would think that it's going to fall.
So current market is 31.81 and it just dropped 42 cents. So it was over 32. Let's see, it was 32.2, 32.27. Um dang. Yeah, it's really doing a number. So here's a month and it just tanked down to 28 and some change. And now it's making its way back up. It was all the way up in the 34 range. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm really curious on what it's gonna do.
I
Yeah,
think
because here it is for the past year. Like you can see that it took a hard fall, but it's making its way back up. But does that mean it's going to make it back its way up here, or is it going to level out in this space?
um, it should level out to the probably the $30 range, probably 29 to like 32 fluctuation, kind of a
Okay.
little roller
Yeah, I
coaster.
was thinking. I was thinking in the ballpark of 31 because that's where it's been like sitting for a while.
Now, if something drastic was to happen, then I could see it going up, or I could see it even tanking more. But it
But it's
should
not going to
it
get
should sit
to
around that
2020
20.
prices where it's $15.
I don't think it's going to go down that low. I mean, if it's going to tank, I'm thinking maybe 24. And if it's going to go up, maybe back
You
up
think
to
it's going to that
35.
low? Down to
If
24?
if it tanks, yeah.
Okay.
But once it gets down to that level, that's going to entice people to buy it, which is going to raise the price. So wouldn't it overall just kind of just stay steady around that 29 to 32 mark overall?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on how the market reacts to tariffs, and especially if it has how much effect that it has on bullion. Um, that if it goes a certain way, I could see it possibly dropping to like 29, 28. but I don't know. It's interesting. Excuse me.
All right, let me see. Hold on a minute.
You got to figure what monitor you're on right now. Now that you have 14 monitors.
Okay. No, I was bringing YouTube up on your channel so I could see if anybody's in chat and keep an eye on it that way.
Okay.
Because I got this monitor on full screen so I could see it.
So you could see it. Oof.
So I could see it.
Oh man. Side note, Frank posted. I'm pretty sure it was Frank. It was either Frank or one of the other guys that I know. This dude at a boat ramp, and the truck's in the water, and the boat on the trailer is up on the ramp. You're doing it wrong.
That takes a lot of talent. You just look at that and you're like, oh God. Dear Lord.
I saw another one that had totally made me think of you in every essence of the picture, and it was a picture of this boat, and it had, I don't know, 50 rods on it, and the caption is like, are you serious? That's so like extra. You don't need 2 nets. There's 2 nets on it. I'm like, that's 100%. That's a blues thing right there. 100%. That would be something that he would do.
Yeah. So what are we going to do tonight? We're
gonna pillage some flyers first. I'm gonna reference my book. There it is. I'm gonna reference my book. So I have a few that I can find. So 17 and 19, a 21. Might be able to find a 21. A 4. I'm sure I have a 4 somewhere. I just don't know where it's at because reasons. Any Snow 1 or Snow 2 is acceptable.
Yeah.
But that's still like I'm telling you, this is the best. This is the most winning that I've done on an album, is to label all the snows for the flyers.
Oh yeah.
Dude, totally.
I think that just boils down to you were smarter than the process.
Which is a far cry. Okay, so let's take a look at a book. Just take a look at maybe a 21. So a 21 is going to have some marks around the date, and it's going to be similar to a 17. So that I'll need to have some marks around the date. What's the other one? A 4, a 12. What's a 12? I don't remember that one off the top of my head. That's what I get for being old.
It's funny because I really have not added nothing to my collection in months.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, I get on there and I'm doing the searches. I'm trying to find stuff, and the prices are just horrendous. I'm like,
oh, check this out. I don't know if you remember this. I was doing something with nickels, and I dropped one, and I could not find it anywhere. Do you remember that? It was
oh yeah,
like
I remember
like
that.
how many months ago was that?
God, about 2.5, maybe 3.
I found it.
Yeah.
Check this out. Dropped on the ground, rolled straight out of my door, down the hall, in a straight line, into my room, and then curled around and landed underneath the door. How?
That's solid.
That's why I couldn't find it. It was 2 rooms away.
It was in a different zip code.
It's in a different zip code. Okay, the 12 I probably am not going to find because that's the one I've been looking for. That's the triple die obverse. That one's a harder one. But I might be able to find the 21 because the 21 is similar to the 17. And it's got the bar on the end, but it's got markings on either side of the date on the rim. It's got like die markers. Hey, Rhonda. How's it going?
Hey, there's John.
John Argent. What's going on? We are just
look at all these people trolling around.
It's like, what? Somebody's online live right now? I got nothing to do.
Basically. Got 0.
Yeah. So, we are looking for flyers tonight. So one thing that Blues and I usually do is we go onto eBay and we just pillage the crap out of eBay. We go through and we use all of our books and all of our references, flyers and Indians and whatnot. And we go through and we see if we can find any good deals or find any cherry picks or just cause good general chaos. It is 100% something that we do on the regular. So I just came on tonight because I haven't been live in a long time, and I'm like, hey, let's just do this live and let's cause some general coin carnage because why not? So let's see. Ooh. I don't know what that is.
All right. This has to be fake. Oh,
What are you looking for?
I'm going through Indian heads.
Okay.
And came across this listing for an 1877. That's one of the big key date ones.
I was gonna say that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Guy is selling it for $16.99, and he has 10 of them available.
Where is it located?
Oh, I didn't even look.
China.
I don't want to say, but you hit the nose with your fist on that comment.
What? Fake coins being sold internationally? That's weird. That never happens.
That never happens.
So right now I'm scoping out for a Snow 21 for the 1857. It's going to be similar to the Snow 17, where it's going to have doubling in some of the letters on the obverse. It's going to be a broken wing hub, which is going to be missing this part right here. And specifically, the Snow 21 is going to have a mark right about here on the denticles, and then another one just on the other side. Those would be the markers for the 21, because the 21 is one that I do not currently have in my collection. So I'm looking for one because I have a page that is dedicated to just Snow 57 1857 snow varieties. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. So there's a lot of these that you'll see that are pretty corroded. There's one seller specifically that I can tell based off of the type of coin and the fingers in the background that this is going to be Stock Maniac. Stock Maniac has a very, very large amount of listings, and most of the listings are coins that have questionable conditions. I'll say that. John Argent says, speaking of really small sets and the guy who wrote the book on them, how about that 1969 SDDO being sold by Rick Snow that some guy found enrolled early in the year? I did see a snippet of that. I didn't read the whole story, although I'm not surprised that something like that would be either consigned or sold by Rick, because it absolutely makes sense. He's the guy that wrote the book on small cents. But yeah, I can't imagine that thing is going to fetch anything less than 6 digits. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
At least high 5 digits. Starting bid $125K. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the biggest things, is that like when you have a coin that is in the condition that it is, and it is being sold or promoted by somebody with that much reputation, yeah, you can pretty much write whatever you want as the starting price.
Yeah. All right. I gave up on my Indian heads. I'm going to something that I know.
Nickels. So this is the Snow 16, which has the die chip right here in the middle, and that's good looking coin. Just not $754 worth for me. Because the other thing with these Snow 16s is that you can find them very easily, really in any condition, even in lower conditions.
Oh, that 69S came in at MS64 red. Ooh.
Yeah. So you have a higher end mid state, and it came out red, not red brown, which means it's going to be top tier. It's pretty much, it literally has everything going for it. It's the 1969 DDO, and it is in high MS condition, and it's color red. Be interesting to see where that ends up at. Oh, I can't imagine that it is not going to set a new record. I just can't. That's pretty wore out. No doubling. When I'm looking on eBay for flyers, I'm really looking at pretty much any condition. There are some that that you can really only see in better condition, and that's going to be like the Snow 12, which is a triple die obverse. Just because you really need the details to see the doubling on it, or I guess tripling on that particular one. But yeah. Imagine.
CJ, it's already starting.
Wait, what's that?
The focus button.
Rhonda, I don't even know if that would do an online auction. I mean, it might, but I mean, I don't, and maybe John Argent, he can chime in if he knows specifics, but I don't know if Rick Snow is auctioning that off himself, or if he is or if he's selling it through an auction house. Like, I mean, because I guess I would. I mean, I guess with Rick Snow, there's a couple of ways. Is that one, you could sell it directly. People can buy from Rick Snow directly, or I could also see the weight of Rick of sending it to like Great Collections or something like that, where it would really a Heritage, where it would really have like a placeholder. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting though. I'm really curious. Lady Spitfire, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by.
With the prestige that Rick has,
yeah,
I'm wondering if he has that Rolodex, because he probably knows every one of the big collectors.
Oh, for sure.
And I wonder if he's reaching out to these big collectors and going, "This is what I got."
So I'm gonna talk about this one right here. So this one right here.
You know what that is?
It's what is it? What is it? Oh, come on.
I know what it is. I don't know the number.
Oh no. Okay.
8. No, it's not 18. $14?
Come on. What are the three? What are the three multi-denominational classes?
7, 8, and 9, isn't it?
So which one is this?
I should know this.
It's 9. 7 is the big one. 8 is on the reverse, and number 9 is this one.
Hey.
So the big thing about this is that they have it labeled a cud. This is not a cud. This is actually just the die clash, which you see here, and then you're gonna see a line right here, and you're gonna see a line right here. So this is die clashed with the quarter, if I'm not mistaken. So no, not the quarter, the half dollar.
So he doesn't even have it marked right.
I mean, he does, because he has die clash, which is absolutely correct. It's a multi-denominational die clash, but CUD it is not, because this is just the design on the opposite side. So that technically is not correct, but die clash 100% correct. This is Snow 9. It's not labeled as one, but it is labeled as a die clash, and that's why that you're getting that price. So, and this is a lower grade because of how worn down all of the feathers are. If you want a Snow 9, you can go through and pick out Snow 9s. They are easy to see, in much better grade for a lot less. Just saying.
Just saying. You are the Flying Eagle man.
I do know a few things about Flying Eagles.
Yeah.
A few things.
I kind of hope so. I mean, you custom made a page in a book form, so.
You know, you don't really have to be that correct, though.
I mean, it took a lot of work putting the numbers in order. 1, 2, 3.
Well, don't forget, I did not include the Snow 7, because that one will never be outside of a holder.
Right.
Oh, this one's worn out.
Oh, what's this?
Worn out.
Oof.
Ooh. That's a rough coin. That's a
not as rough as that nickel I just looked at.
Is that a parking lot? The parking lot.
No, this thing was like Mack truck, man.
So this one is kind of interesting because, like, you can see all of these lines in it, and a lot of these lines are coming from
Sorry.
What? Are you okay? Do you need to go get help?
I'm just leaning back, and my middle of my back decided to go, and I'm over here going. I got people in the chat making fun of me already.
So a lot of these lines, as you can see them coming through, it looks like, especially from this one, it looks like that there is some issue with the alloy mixture, which is causing these I want to say diffusion, and that's not at all what that means. But these tears on the surface. Oh man, these are worn out coins. What I would like to find is so I always look at these as lower end coins, just because there are some coins that they can be super low, like low grade, but you can still see some of the like the multi-denominational clashes. There's a couple of them that you can still see even in low grade, and especially like the Snow 7, which is the big one I'm looking for. There will be a mark right down here and a curve right here, and it's very obvious even in low, like in good 4 condition, or even fair 2 condition. um, and you can still be able to see some of those elements. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to find. Because if I can cherry pick a Snow 7, then I will just retire at that point, I guess. But no such luck has bestowed upon me as of yet. So we will keep looking because that's where we find the good stuff. So anytime that I do searches, I always do it by now. I don't look at the auctions as much, and obviously I'm looking just for the 1857, and I have sorted them with newly listed, because my hope is that I can find one before somebody else has a chance to scope it and and steal it.
That's the best way to do it. If you're looking for stuff newly listed, buy it now, and just just start rolling through the pages and hope you beat the other collector to it.
Yeah, some of these flying eagles, like I've even thought of like finding one that was like pretty worn out like this, and then coming up with a template on a laser, and then like laser engraving like the new version of it. Like that could be cool.
Hey, thinking of coins, what is your thought about the new updated mint release numbers on the 2025 stuff?
Um, I don't know how they compare to what they were before, but I know that in the few hundred million that they're slated to have versus the previous years of being in the 1 and 2 billion. Um, yeah, I can't say that I'm surprised. Now, what it's going to do for coin collecting, especially with those people that go through boxes and find error coins and find stuff in circulation, I really don't know what that's going to do, because like it's going to be harder to find. So does that make this year 2025, does that make it a key date or a semi key date in terms of modern coinage because of mintage numbers? Or is this the new standard for coinage figures? Because it could go either way. Like if this is the new standard, and mintage figures going from going into 2026 and 27, and then they can stay consistent around the 2 to 400 million mark, then that really changes a lot of parameters for coin collecting. But if this is just a one-off year or two-off year, and then it goes back up, then it's going to really drive the price, the value for high quality coins from the year.
Mm-hmm. It'll be, I don't know. There's just so much coinage out there. It'd be nice if it became the new standard. But I don't think they need to have all this coinage. We're, they're not going to run out ever. we really have no idea what's sitting in vaults that just hasn't been distributed yet.
We don't, but the feds would. They would have an idea of how much is like in circulation right now, and how much is currently waiting to go into circulation. Hey, we got E Pluribus Unum. How's it going?
What's going on, EP?
So, I mean, it is going to be interesting because, like, I mean, there's so many things that you can theorize, right? So take the concept of coin roll hunting, right? Box coinage. Now, will it make it harder for banks to get coins? Maybe. But what about, I'm talking left field stuff, is what about stuff like the Great Coin Hunt? Is that going to make it so that coins are actually found faster or go through the system faster? Because there's not as much to sort through for those. EP, kind of. We were talking about coinage. We were talking about like just the mintage figures overall. Not specifically the Lincoln cents, but just kind of the overall diminished mintage numbers for all of the coins and how it might affect things. Ooh, $500. Why is this $500?
Yeah, because I know when the first numbers came out on the cent, they were extremely low.
Yeah.
And people got excited with it.
Excited is a very good description.
I mean, I can't say what I want to say.
Oh, EP says, I recently heard there was talks about shutting down the San Francisco Mint. See, and I actually thought about that there was talks about shutting down Denver because they're running like less than 20% capacity right now, or something. They're running like a far diminished, a diminished capacity based off of their production. Which I thought was weird. I mean, I could see shutting down San Francisco because it only makes like more specialty things, but then also where would proofs and specialty coins get made at? Would they get transitioned to Denver? Would they get transitioned back to Philly? Like, would they get transitioned specifically crap, what's the other one? Point. Oh, come on. West Point. Would they all go to West Point? And like in West Point becomes the new San Francisco? I don't know.
I mean, if they moved the San Francisco Mint, which does the proof sets and all that stuff, if they moved that to like the Denver Mint, I mean, would that even be a money saver?
Well, I mean, yes, because you would not be using that mint facility entirely. They would just shut it down. And since Denver is still producing business coinage, and so theoretically, I mean, you could have a quicker shift to Denver and use Denver as the new San Francisco.
I mean,
But you
I
do
want to
also have West Point, which is already built and configured to just handle specialty and collector pieces.
Right. But we don't know if they have the added room for it.
I don't think it's necessarily room. I think that they would just roll into their standard production that they do now.
I mean, if Denver was to shut down, I mean, I really wouldn't be mad because no good errors or nothing has come out of Denver in so long. And this might be an opportunity for me to get some Philadelphia coins up where I live to look at.
I mean, theoretically, but you also have the aspect of just standard flow, because now you have an increased cost of shipping because you're shipping it all the way from Philadelphia all the way across the U.S. To get it into the like the standard circulation grid, versus Denver, which does half of the U.S. and Philly does the East Coast because there's a lot more population. I think that if they were to shut down San Francisco, they have to keep Denver open because of the space. Because Philadelphia would not be able to support doing the entire United States.
That makes a lot of sense.
Like, I think they could in a sense, but you're not gaining anything on cost because your cost would be a lot higher with shipping and transportation. But I could totally see West Point becoming the new sole whatever for specialty. EP says bring back Carson City. Oh man. Yeah, that would be a thing.
With that old relic of a machine, they're gonna produce 20 coins a day.
Well, I mean, but also, like, okay, so think about it in the sense of, okay, if you're going to permanently shut down San Francisco, you can take the facilities, right, and in terms of the equipment, and you can actually move that equipment to Carson City, and then Carson City becomes the new San Francisco.
Yeah, but isn't the Carson City just some, lack of a better term, just a rundown shack of a building?
So Carson City is it's effectively a museum. That's what it is. So it's not really in any modern production configuration. But I mean, to ET's point, West Point is the most logical if the government is looking at cost savings. Then West Point makes the most sense because, I mean, West Point and San Francisco are effectively, in my opinion, in my eyes, my perspective, they're effectively twins. Just one's on the West Coast and one is on the East. Both of them produce specifically specialty bullion, like those types of things. And with the vintage figures going down the way that they are, and there's like not that much of a demand or a need for the specialty, you only need one.
I like the idea of it moving to West Point. I mean, the infrastructure is already there, providing they have the added space for the new equipment, the equipment transfer.
Okay, this one has an incorrect picture. This first picture is not of the coin that they're actually selling. It's this one. The second one that is of the coin. So they're saying it's a Snow 2. So Snow 2 is this right here. You're looking at the O, and if it looks boxy on the inside, that's a Snow 2. This first coin is something else because that right there is not a Snow 2. Not worth $284 though. EP says if they stop minting this cent, it frees up a ton of time to utilize the machines too. Yeah, no, you're right. And here's the aspect of like stopping production of the penny is really interesting because the U.S. has been sitting on this penny for far too long. Far too long.
Too long.
Canada had it figured out in 2012. 2012, they figured out and they stopped using the penny. So now a lot of what they do is they have a rounding system that rounds to the nearest 5 cents. So I would be really curious to see if the U.S. would actually step forward and stop manufacturing the penny. I'm curious on what they would do if they would just let the system run dry on pennies. But then like the over under on it is what are businesses then going to be instructed to do? So like in terms of their pricing or taxes, or like how is that all going to work to account for not having the penny anymore? Or is there going to be like a buffer time to basically, to run through all of the cents that people have or that are in circulation to basically, clean out effectively the system? You wouldn't have to reprogram the computer necessarily, but it would probably fall on cashiers to handle it differently. But all of that is going to be down to how companies want to handle whatever direction, because I don't know what the U.S. is if they do stop the penny, what direction that they're going to give as far as how to handle transactions in lieu of a penny.
If they leave it up to the cashier to figure out to round up or round down, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I think that Kamakura is going to hurt.
But we will get a whole bunch of new Facebook shorts out of it.
Not wrong.
Which could be entertaining.
Not
Most
wrong.
of them aren't, but
okay, so this one right here. Okay, so I can immediately tell that number one, they're saying fine. There's no way this is a fine. There's no feathers here. There's no feathers here. There's no feathers here. This is a good 4, probably in the best condition. Not a fine by any stretch of the imagination. But right here, where you see the ED and the S on how it's all kind of messed up and it's connected to the rim. This is a Snow 14. 14? Let me double check. I'm like 80% sure on that. Stand by me, darling. Yep, Snow 14. And that's how you can tell the Snow 14 is, especially on the D and the S right here, of how it's if it's messed up and it's connected to the rim like that. That's easy that you can see in pretty much any condition. So that's a very easy Snow 14. Although the fine is not this is not a fine.
No.
This is a good 4. I mean, because you got good 4, you got very fine, and you have fine. That is 2 classifications higher than what it should be. Two grades, classifications. That's weird.
Well, long as that listing doesn't have what we discussed earlier.
What's that?
Long the title doesn't have what we discussed earlier.
Yeah, for real. EP says, I think they need to increase nickel production if they're going to start rounding, and it costs more to make nickels than they are worth. So do they go right to a dime? Actually, I'm not sure. It costs more to make a penny than it's worth, but I think on the nickel, it's still under, if I'm not mistaken. I think the only coin that costs more to make than it's worth was the penny.
Yeah. The penny definitely needs to go.
Okay, I stand corrected. According to a mint report, in 20 I don't have a time frame. In 2020, the nickel costs 7.4 cents to make. And then according to this article from Money Magazine, in 2022, oh, sorry. I don't have a reference on the date of this article, but it looks like somewhere in the 2022 or 2023. But it says, as of the previous year, every nickel costs 10.4 cents to make. And then 2020 it cost 7.4 cents. So, yeah. Well, so that makes an kind of an interesting piece. I think it would be beneficial to look at different materials to produce the nickels to reduce the cost on them. because like the copper nickel alloy that they're currently using, I think they could do something else to change its configuration, its composition, to make it cheaper. But I don't think that they would go straight to a dime. It would be extremely drastic because I mean even Canada hasn't done that. They've stuck at a nickel, and their nickel is, I think it's similar composition to U.S. cents or to U.S. Coinage. Or just say a penny is now worth a nickel. I've been saying that for years. Then redesign the zinc penny to show 5 cents. Basically. But I think regardless on what they do, if they do stop production on a coin, on a denomination, that it's going to be drastic for the U.S. consumer to adjust. Because for as long as pretty much everybody is known, there's always been pennies. So for us to change,
people are going to lose their mind. I'm just going to take a lawn chair to Walmart and sit at the registers and just watch it.
EP says vending machine lobbyists are very against that, though. Well, I mean, to EP's point, vending machine lobbyists have done a lot of lobbying that have changed the way that our coinage has existed. Fair point is the dollar coin. So the where is it at? It's the Susan B. Anthony. The Seahead coins. Those were a whole thing for vending machines to accept because they were very close in configuration to the quarters. So they were close, but especially when you have something that you have to modify every single machine out there and then modify every new machine that's built.
Mm-hmm.
EP says, just move the penny out and dollar coins in, and stop making the dollar coins, and stop printing the dollar bills. Well, so that also brings up an interesting point, because I think it's actually cheaper to run the dollar bills than make the dollar coins, and a lot of people don't want to carry a bunch of dollar coins in their pocket. It's much easier to carry dollar bills. Now, this does kind of split hairs, because we are talking about coins, which are coming from the mint, and bills, which are coming from the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. So they're technically two different government agencies that are doing the same thing of making money. So
I was waiting for you to get stuck and go, coins come from the mint and bills come from the dollar bill mint.
Thanks for the vote of confidence on that one.
I had a lot of confidence that you would get that wrong, that you would get stuck on it. Yeah, dollar coins need to go.
So I would agree. The dollar coins, like, people in general do not use dollar coins. They haven't for a long time. Just the fact that we've made it all the way through the first spouses and the presidentials and the American innovations and the Native Americans, like the Susan B. Anthony, the dollar coin should have lasted only up until the Susan B. Anthony of 1999, and then it should have died. It should have just stopped.
Yeah. It says 1 cent.
I don't know if that's necessarily a cut though, because like you can see the split in the along the edge. Like there was, and like it's not clean, but it's really mushy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be. It looks weird.
It does.
EP
I
says
don't think it's $69 weird though.
they have billions of dollar coins in warehouses in Baltimore waiting to be used. But that right there, like that is the point, is that there isn't a demand for dollar coins. That's why there is billions of them being held in a warehouse in Baltimore. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Can you imagine in the 60s and 70s carrying around the Eisenhower dollars in your pocket?
Oh my goodness. How much money you got? Ching, 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 ching.
So this one right here. So overall condition of the coin, it's questionable for color, but it's probably has some kind of corrosion. But check out all of the feathers with only a little bit of wear right here. Here's what I want you to specifically pay attention to. See that O?
Square.
Snow tooth.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good price for a details snow tooth. That's a snow tooth all day long. I synced it.
You think that?
I synced it. EP says they can't use them until they force people to start using them. Talk of using them in territories. I mean, it's just like if we have all these dollar coins and they are only like, and there's no demand for them, then like, why do we still have them? Like, why haven't we melted them down and done something with it?
Mm-hmm. And what do you referring to like use them in like territories?
So U.S. territories.
Cost too much to ship them.
Potentially, but they would be basically localized usage. I mean, there would be use, but yeah, I don't know.
That's one of the things with the military, the overseas bases and stuff. They don't use coins; they use pogs. We have 5 cent, 10 cent, 25 cent, 50 cent pogs.
Yeah,
because it costs too much to ship the coins because of the weight.
that makes sense. EP, are you only looking for snow twos? No, EP, I'm looking at all of the snows. So I have a page that I made in my Flying Eagle book And in this page are all of my individual snow varieties. So any open space that I have for any of the snows, I'm looking for all of those. So, but I have been looking at snow varieties on the Flying Eagles for I don't know how many years has it been. So I can just look through pages and pick out the different varieties just by looking at them. Glossy. Glossy doesn't mean that it's good. Any good scores? No. I found a couple of snows in here, but nothing that I would specifically buy right now. I am looking for a snow 12. I'm sorry, a snow 21. That if I can find one of those, I will probably buy it just to get it into my book.
Did you see my post I put on the beginning of the week? Where I put on there, it says I went to town with money and I came home with no money.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. That's kind of like us looking at coins on eBay. It's like, I don't have money for this coin, but I'm going to buy it anyway.
So this one right here. So this is another snow variety. They say this is a VG. I think this is closer to a good, because it has basically no feather detail. But this one right here, so this F is filled in. There's a couple of different theories on basically how this happened. Whether it was broken, like a broken letter in the die, or if for some reason it got filled in with something. But this particular Pacific one is if I remember it, I believe it's a Snow 22. And yes, it is a Snow 22. So the Snow 22 is the prepared OF, and you can see a picture of it right here. So the F is going to be super messed up. And so that one right there, I can tell is a Snow 22. And I already have one of those in my book because it's right here under Snow 22. But again, I could just go through, and I've been looking at these for so long that I can immediately see that that's a Snow 22. Now, condition is still a lot. It's worn on the back. It's pretty worn out on the front. It's actually, I would say, it's going to be more of a good. And the fact that they're calling it detail cleaned. If you wanted to fill a hole in base varieties for the Flyers, this is an okay buy. In terms of what I would classify, $24 is not a lot of money for a Flying Eagle, even in good. Yeah, it's going to be cleaned, but if you're looking to fill a hole for varieties where you can always find a higher end one later on, this would actually be a really decent one to start with. Been looking at Walking Liberty varieties for a few years. Can score a few looking at graded slabs with awesome varieties. I love finding ones that are slabbed without being labeled as the variety. Those are much more fun to do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're looking for that particular coin, you just put that in the search box and go, there it is, click.
So this one looks like that it's a double die obverse, but it could just be damaged because I'm looking at the eye right here, and you see how it's got like an oval in the middle of it. I'm thinking that is a double die, but I'm also not seeing Like the condition of the coin is like not great to begin with, but I am not seeing anything that would tell me that it's doubled anywhere. Like I'm looking for extra on the T, or the T here, or the A, or the A over here. This one looks like it's been in a fire or something.
We had a coin show this last weekend.
Oh, yeah? Did you go, or did you just remember it now?
I remembered it when I was going uptown today to go uptown.
Okay.
And
What's up, Big T?
I saw the flyer sitting in my visor.
That's a great spot for it.
It was a great spot for it.
Excellent spot.
I'm like, darn it. I always love going to them and just trolling around to see.
Oh, see? This is what happens. We woke up the dragon.
Oh. We didn't wake him up. He was probably already up.
What's up, Frank? How you doing, man? We got EP in here. Long time on YouTube. We got the one, the only Big T Coins up in the house. And we got one of the OGs, Coin Dragon. We just causing some. EP is right, Blues. So you save some money by not going to the coin show.
oh, definitely.
He's not wrong. That's 100% accurate.
Go to a coin show to spend $40 to buy a nickel.
Okay, I love this one right here. Picture taken on the hood of somebody's car with a Motorola camera, and they're saying that is an error coin, and it's PCGS XF40 for $9,500. And it is one picture, both of the back sides. They want $5,300 for it. So this right here is a full warning to everybody who has ever watched any of my shows. This right here is a full scam. This is either one, somebody who is absolutely trying to scam you, or two, has absolutely no knowledge of coins at all, and they think that just because they found something, it's worth $10,000. So anytime you see these, report these, because
EP's looking at the background and he's like, it must be wintertime. There's no leaves on the trees.
So absolutely, this is just one of those things that it is. Report this. This is garbage. This is a scam. This is fraud, in my opinion. These are the ones I hate to see, because all of this is just garbage. Like, all of this is just garbage. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox on that one. And according to eBay's designations, you can actually report this because they are claiming it is a PCGS slabbed coin, and it is clearly not a slabbed coin. So that's falsification of listing description. Next. Okay.
Next.
Sorry, those things just. Okay, here's another one. This picture is not original picture. This is probably a stolen picture. They have 9 available in this. If you look at this coin, it looks really good. Lots of detail. But the picture is what I say muted, I guess. Is just out of focus, but there are no back marks. There are no scratches or anything. One feedback, cheap money, more than one available, and Coin Dragon called it. It's coming from China. This also is a fraudulent listing. Do not buy these. This is not a real coin. Off my soapbox again.
That's all right. One of us will jump back on it.
Yeah, it's just going to be a matter of time. I'm going to find another coin and be like, all right, let me talk about this one. That's interesting. This might be actually B1. Huh. This has some promise. So here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the eye, and I've got this little hanger down here. I've got an extra bar underneath the U right here on the south side of it. And I see extra on the T. If I go up here, and I've got extra on the T and extra on the A. But if I go all the way around, I've got this extra right here on the A. So I think this is actually a Doubleday obverse. Now, that being said, color looks okay. It looks like it's got some cleaning scratches, like all of these refined scratches. That's some cleaning marks. So it would pull a details grade. Overall, really nice though. That there's very little wear right here, and it's got some detail in the tail feathers. But yeah, they saying it's cleaned. I think 175 might be a little bit high for me, just because it is a cleaned coin. So possibly, but let's take a look at what that might indicate with the eye to see where that would put us. So we are looking for a, let's see, a counterclockwise. Oh, yep. That's what well, is it going to be that one? So we've got the repaired hub, the repaired wing, and we got double die on there. Okay, and the eye goes south. So this is most likely, and I just got to check a few more things. But right now, this carries a lot of promise for a Snow 15. So, and I have one of these. So the Snow 15 is very close to the Snow 4 and the Snow 3, in the sense that it's got doubling that goes counterclockwise, but it has a different wingtip. Because the 3 has the broken, the 4 has it basically repaired, but it's like missing. So then 15 is where they actually put the wing back in. And yeah, I'm going to call that one a 15. Double check a few more things. And that's on the inside. Yep. So if you are looking for a high-end, although cleaned, but a good XFAU, right here, Snow 15. There you go. So far, I found a Snow 9, a Snow 2, 2 Snow 2s, and a snow 15 and a snow 22 already tonight. It's a problem.
EP's taking a break from taxes.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, I got to do mine.
I did mine.
Did you?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't sent them in.
Oh, okay. What are you looking at? You looking at getting a return, or are you looking at eating one?
Oh, it's even money.
Oh, okay.
My deductible erases everything.
Oh, okay.
The tax person at the Walmart tax person. We'll just leave it at that.
Fair.
And for everything that I've read online, they said I really don't even need to file.
Coin Dragon says, I did mine, when it was relevant. Then he says, just kidding.
Yeah, I had 3 1099s for last year.
I think I'm gonna have. I've got for counting 1099Ks, I'll have one of those, and then in 1099. Do I have a 1095? Shoot, I don't know if I have a second 1099. Well, the second 1099 is 1099K. So there's that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Hey, now we're talking. Snow 2. So very good. Yeah. Very good. Snow 2. That's an easy one.
Your Uber Eats puts you over?
Ha!
I sold so much stuff on eBay, I got a 1099.
Fine. Dragon, you're not calling that coin a fine, are you?
The sad thing about it is we're only in the month of April, and I've already made enough where I'm going to get a 1099 for this year too.
They're calling it a fine. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I challenge that. I challenge that. Here's why. So this is a fine. This is a fine 15. And there's usually some feathers in there. But when you get lower, that's when they start dropping away. So, and this is a VG. So I think that, because it's got no feathers, that's actually a VG. Okay. I didn't think so, Coin Dragon. I was like, I feel like Coin Dragon is pretty good with his grading. I don't think that he would make a mistake. You can see some of these are just.
I just ran into our other buddy on eBay.
Oh, okay. Nothing but love. So I just clicked on 5. So in the first 4 pages, I found 5 different snow varieties. So that's how easy this is. And I have no idea what somebody is trying to say about this coin, but there's no way that it is anything what they're saying that it is. Because this thing is so corroded, there's no way that you can see anything. Nope. Especially
But it has to be true. Look at the pretty arrows.
Cash J15 and a feedback of 7. Yep, that's false.
I'm thinking about ordering a coin from this dude so I can get his return address so I can send him a bar of soap to wash his hands with.
Oh, dang. Oh.
We ain't going to call this guy out, but we gave him the nickname of Dirty Fingers.
Oh, man. It's getting thick in here. Dirty Fingers.
Dragon, I said we were going to call nobody out. Even Dragon's like, yep.
I know that one.
I know who that dude is.
And this coin is wrecked. Just wrecked.
God, we tore that dude up on eBay. We would get on here and just do 2 or 3 hours of just looking for varieties and errors, and 90% of our sales was from that dude.
So one thing that I will say is that there is a seller. It's I won't say the name, but it is a seller that both Blues and I had previously cherry picked from, and they have gotten a lot better as far as looking at their coins and finding varieties. And I think we've tried maybe 3 or 4 times to cherry pick, and we have not been able to cherry pick this other seller for a while. So, like, that seller, I'm not going to say your name, but props to you. Super proud of you for really looking at, for really looking at your coins and learning the different things that are out there and actually populating your sales with appropriate descriptions and appropriate and correct designations. So A+.
Yeah, good for him. Sucks for us.
Yeah, it just means that I got to find somebody else to cherry pick, I guess.
Yeah, we need to find some more people.
But to be fair, like, EP says they are lurking and watching your streams. You know what? I have done full streams on teaching people what to look for in the flyers as I've gone through them before, and I am completely fine with other people learning how to read and how to find flying eagles and getting cherry picks. Like, I'm okay with that. It makes it a little bit harder for me, but I'm okay with that because that is still other people learning and other people like increasing their numismatic knowledge, which is why I do the videos that I do anyway.
I just keep getting lower and lower in this chair.
So, funny story. My chair wouldn't go up anymore. So I was like, okay, I'm going to buy a new piston and replace the piston, right? So I get a new piston and I take the bracket off and I can't get the piston out. And then I look at it and the box that the piston slides into, both the welds are broken. I'm like, oh, this is a much bigger problem. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Like, the chair is less than a year old. So I reach out to the company and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, and I took a picture and I submitted it to them as far as like the actual welds are broken. So while I wait around for this company to respond back, I go online and I'm like, hey, can I find a replacement system, right? Because I have two levers on this chair. I've
Mm-hmm.
got one that is up and down, and then one that is for the back, right?
Right.
So I find one, and according to the dimensions and the hole spacings and everything, I find one that is a really, really, really close match. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this one just in case. If it doesn't match, it'll be close enough for me to put some washers on or something else, right? For me to get it to work. So I get this thing on Wednesday night, and I take it out of the box and I lay it on the bottom of my chair because my chair is basically just folded out in the middle of my office. Like I haven't been on my computer all week. It's just literally just in the middle of my office. And I lay it down on top of where the threads are on the bottom of the seat. Perfect match. I'm like, let's go. So put it on there, and then of course it was just the frame, and it didn't come with the piston. And then I was like, well, I already got a new piston anyway, so I put it in there to see if it fit. Perfect fit. So then I put my chair all back together, and I spent $60, but I have a brand new chair, and the piston is rated at 500 pounds. So I'm like, this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. So I'm like, let's go. I was so excited. I can sit in my chair. I'm not falling down. It actually sits up higher than my old one did. So I had to let it out a little bit just so I balance, because otherwise I'm like, I'm sitting up here and I'm like, so
it's the little things.
It's the little things.
Did the company get back with you about?
I have not gotten a response yet.
Okay.
I'm actually hoping that maybe they just send me a replacement. Because that would be okay, because I have an extra just in case something happens. But man,
is it the same chair that you told me to buy?
It's.
Oh no, that's the new one.
No, this is the new one.
Yeah, Kobe got the one.
Colby got that one. But it should be comparable. But I was like, man, this is all kinds of all right. I was so stoked that it was just a direct replacement. And like I was beside myself. I know that's something that's just silly to be really excited about, but it's like if you work on a project and you like just have parts and you're like, I think this will work, and it works flawlessly. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. That's a lot better than you're working on the project and you have extra parts.
And you have extra parts left over, and you're like, I don't know where these came from. Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. How come I got an extra piston on the ground here?
I still don't know what happened to that. What happened to that other piston? I don't know if it failed somehow. Because it looks like all of the parts are together, so I really don't know.
It could have just been a failure.
14. Snow 14. So I can see it right here in the T, but right here on the D and the S, that's a 14 right there.
Yep.
And it's not labeled. And that's Quantum 2000. We've shopped from him before.
Oh yeah.
Surprised. Usually he has those labeled. But yeah, Snow 14. 138, I think is a bit much for this one. But if you had this one around maybe 70, maybe 75, that might be an okay one.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 6 that I found.
I got to go hit the men's room.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Dragon says he's got expensive with Woodies. Yeah. He. I mean, but the other thing I think, Coin Dragon, is that I think the market is a bit heavy on them. Because, and the reason why I say that, and this is just purely speculative, but I remember when Flying Eagles in the good, very good range, and the good range were like bottom like 2025, and the very good range, even to very fine, were like in the 30s, and now that has shifted where your goods are in the $34 range, $35 range, with your very goods getting up to 40, 45 even. So I think some of it might be the market. I could be wrong. But I feel like the market just overall is more expensive, especially with the early copper. But so I've had pretty good luck today. That looks like another 14 right there. Let me double check. So that mark right there on the U, that's pretty significant. So we're just going to double check and just see if that is what I think it is. Yep. That's exactly what I thought that is. So there is your second Snow 14. So this doubling that has the little bubble on the bottom side of the U, you're going to see it. There it is in the T. You're going to see it in the I, but specifically the D and the S. That this is a Snow 14. Snow 14. So that's a second Snow 14 that I found. And I really wish one of these days that I could just find one of these that are just tore up and they're just cheap, and have it be like a Snow 7 or something super heavy. I'm just saying. What do we got? We got nothing there, nothing there. So, still looking for a Snow 21. Oh, that one's wrecked. This one better be real good. That's something. Just not what I'm looking for. And would really like to get. So the last one of the last ones I looked at was another Snow 14. So that's Snow 14s. So this one says obverse of 56. So this should be a Snow 2. And we look at the O, and yes, it is a Snow 2 that is accurate. Although, again, the price with the condition, because if you look at all these scratches and all these marks, like, I mean, yes, the Snow 2 carries a premium, but I don't think that necessarily offsets the rest of the questionable condition on this coin. Just me, though. Just me. That's just my theory, my feeling on the subject. if anybody were going to ask me, because reasons. Yeah, this is going to be good. So they say this is a DDO and they want $350 for it. And what DDO is it? Okay, I'm not seeing. I mean, that. It looks like kind of one, but like I have some other concerns that it's. Yeah, this is not a DDO.
An MD.
Yeah, this is MD.
How's the weather where you been?
The weather has actually been decent. You can't decide whether it's going to be raining or it's going to be sun. So we're having kind of a bipolar false second, fifth spring thing going on. But it's back and forth. Another pet peeve of mine when they hyper sharpen the pictures to the point of smearing close up. Yes, I totally understand that, Dragon, and I concur 100% with that.
I've had my AC on for 2 days in a row, 2 days in a row, full time.
I don't see this one looking like that though. So this is one that I don't have, because to find one that still has the condition good enough to actually show these marks, it has to be a higher grade. I don't like. There's this this concerns me in the sense of, so what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the 7, and on this picture you can see how it's got like a line through it, or it's crushed on the front.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see that same thing over here. And then this one has got a piece on the top, and this one doesn't really. I feel like this is subject.
Yeah, it don't look right.
I would not buy this, in the sense that I do not trust this seller. One, because they only have 7 feedback, but 2, these 2 pictures do not have corresponding conditions that would lead me to believe that it's the same coin.
Well, if you look at that picture, go ahead and click on it, make it bigger. See above the 8, you got the 2 little circles.
Yeah, but this is zoomed in too far, and you wouldn't see that because that would be right up here.
Okay, it's still too high up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's suspect.
That's very suspect in my opinion. I'm guessing that this is. Oh, look, they have another one. They have multiple of the same one. And look, it's the same picture as the other one. So right there, fraud, fake. So this is another one. If you want to report this one, Cash J15. So yes.
I'm just curious on his 7 feedbacks if they're 100% or not, or
Only one item sold. But they've got 7 feedback. So, but just this, they use the exact same picture, and this is in basically excellent condition. This is a manufactured posting because it's got literally the same description as the other one. These are fake postings. Pass. Can't fool me. I'm smarter. That's why people, when they're looking for coins, especially if you're going to drop $700 on something, that thing better be a very specific one that is worth that much by default, or it better be slabbed if you're going to buy something that heavy. Don't spend that much money without being able to tell exactly what it is or have some guarantee that it is. Do yourself a favor. Why are 10 people watching this coin? Well, probably because it's got full detail, that's why.
babies. Last out.
It's a good looking coin though.
Ammo. Ammo.
Ooh. But not a full strike on the reverse. That's sad. I like that obverse though. That obverse is nice with all the details in here and very little wear right here. So right here on the basically on the just underneath the wing right here, this is the highest point of the coin. So this space right here is going to wear away first. Then after this wears away, then you're going to get these feathers that wear away, and then you're going to have these feathers that wear away. So if you have like all of this area that is all flat, that's a pretty worn coin.
Got some really nice detail on that. What's the back look like?
Like that.
Oof.
Oof. Right? So somebody has it in their cart and 10 people are watching this one right now. So obviously, like, they're watching it because of the condition on the front. It's a phenomenal like, it's phenomenal shape, like all the details and everything. Like, this is great to look at. Just when you get to the back, it's leaves some to be desired. Almost there.
Yeah, that's an oof right there.
So right there, Snow 2, lower grade. Right there. Right
Oof
there.
has become my pretty much favorite word.
Oof. So right here, I can see just in the edge of this picture that you can see that this is a Snow 9 because you can see this that stands out immediately. So the other thing you can see is you can see it here and you can see it here. The Snow 9, you will always see this.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by I can just look through listings and find a Snow 9 without even trying, just because of how distinctive it is.
Yeah.
So especially with how distinctive it is, you can pretty much just find a Snow 9 in the grade that you want it to be in and just get one. out with these scratches.
Good night, Dragon. Peace out.
All right. See you, Dragon. Good to see you, man. This actually looks like they call it graffiti, but it actually looks like it's somebody scratching a name into it.
Yeah, that looked like letters.
Yeah, that looks like letters. And you got some over here. ELLA. Ella. A. L.
Maybe they were naming the bird.
And I don't know what that says. So when they have like writing like this, they generally call it graffiti, just because that's basically kind of what it is. It's defacing the coin, so that's why they call it graffiti. But some of those are really interesting, especially if they're either engraved, they can be scratched in, or if they are counter stamped with somebody's name. Like if you want and you have the capacity to find one of those coins that's like counter stamped with a name and look up the history on that person and see if you can identify exactly who that person is, that would be cool. Because that would be cool to have a coin with somebody's name on it like that, and then have the history of just kind of who they are, and put those things together. Like that would be really neat. Oh, I see this one right here. Too expensive, but it's the fixed OF right there. Snow 22. Easy cheesy. Easy cheesy. Cover girl. Fine plus. That is a details at best. It's geez. I think it's almost a parking lot coin. Almost a parking lot coin. Let's see. Wore out. There's barely any detail on this. This picture's so heavy. You don't have to use that much light. You don't, I promise.
I'm looking at 2 centers.
Ooh, 2 centers.
While my dogs are doing their last out.
Okay, there you go. There's a great example of a Snow 22. Repaired F. It just looks all kind of messed up, huh?
Wow. That is messed up.
That is really not that bad a condition. It's got some damage right here, but look how much detail that it's got in the tail feathers.
Mm-hmm.
That's this is probably a pretty solid pickup, actually. If I'm gonna call any of these good buys, I would say this one would make the list.
Right.
A higher grade Snow 22. It's gonna be details because it's got damage, but that's that to get a coin that's got all of the feathers in both wings and in the tail. That's a high grade. I'm actually gonna watch that one because that's a pretty solid pickup. Okay, they're saying this is an obverse of 56, and I will respectfully decline. I think it could be construed based off of the rounded edges of this interior. It could be the late stage Snow 2, but I'm not feeling it because of the wingtip. because the Snow 2, just like the 3 and the 4, there's some wingtip issues. But I could be wrong. I'm just I'm not feeling it. If I'm getting a Snow 2, I know there's one that has more rounded shape than the full square. But if I'm getting a Snow 2, I want a square Snow 2.
Right.
I'm sorry, not square, rectangle, technically. But I want a full rectangle if I'm gonna get a Snow 2. Got to get that squarenesses. I don't like these. What's this? It's okay color. I don't really see anything going on in that one. Just if you're gonna take a picture of a coin, take it before you put it into a flip, so that you don't have all of this reflection, because that really throws off the color, and it can hide details too.
I just clicked on a coin to get a better look at it, and I should have known better.
Because it got worse?
No, because of who it's from.
Oh, okay.
I'd known better. He only had a picture of half the coin.
Ah.
The other half was bad.
Was missing. So this right here is also
missing is a good word.
This is also a Snow 9. This is obviously like a super like poor quality, but you can like just in a small picture you can see the Snow 9 marking on it. Oh, what's this? This says DDO Great Eye Appeal. So what DDO is it? And you have no pictures of the DDO, and your main picture is too blurry to show anything. I don't see any doubling on the eye, which would indicate a major DDO. I don't see anything on the T's and states, the T in United, the U in United. It's too blurry to see anything on here. Possibly there could be something over here on the A, but it's too blurry to tell. And yeah, that's it. Go fish. Go fish. It's like if you want somebody to spend $588 or $325 on your coin, like take some decent pictures in focus, please. Like if pictures could be taken in focus, that would solve a lot of things for a lot of coin collectors, because we like to see the details. And when we can't see the details, that we won't buy your coin. So it would behoove you that if you are taking pictures of your coin, take very clear and in focus pictures of your coin. Please, for everyone that collects coins, please do not scan your coins with a flatbed scanner, because that causes my brain to implode. And
implode.
Like, I understand that you may be using what you have, but I would strongly encourage just go down and get a $25 digital camera. It's going to have about 900 times better resolution than your 800 by 600 flatbed scanner from 1995.
Yeah,
please.
something like that.
Please. I, I, I beg of you. I beg of you from everybody that's ever shopped on eBay for coins. Don't use a flatbed scanner. Just buy a digital camera, even a cheap one. Take good photos and upload those photos. I mean, I think even you could get prepaid cell phones with cameras that are better.
That's saying a lot.
It is, but that's kind of my stance. Is that like nobody has flatbed scanners anymore. Nobody uses them. Everybody has digital cameras or phones or something that has a good resolution camera. And the better that your picture is, especially when it's in focus, the better that you have a chance to sell your coins. It is absolutely science. There's nothing magic about it. It just makes good business sense. I've actually found quite a few varieties tonight, which I'm kind of surprised about because I don't normally find that many varieties. I usually only find a couple.
And I'm not finding anything on the 2 centers.
So this is a Snow 2. See that big huge space in the O?
Oh yeah.
That's a Snow 2 all day long. All night long. Wait, you're not finding anything in the 2 centers?
Yeah.
That's odd.
I'm not opening up every listing.
Are you just skim through them?
I'm just skimming through them because a lot of time you could pick out.
Yeah.
And the ones that are obviously overpriced, I'm just scrolling by anyway.
Like, and skip.
It's like, no.
$4,000 million.
I remember 2 years ago we could buy real nice 64, 65 2 centers for 15, 18 bucks. Now they're 60.
So this one has the potential to be one of the later stage Snow 2s because it does have the rectangle, but it's a little bit more curved. So that has a possibility of being a 2. It's like a 2. I think it's what 2E or 2D.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, there were some letters with some of those.
There were some letters with some of those. Very nice.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't know the correct terminology right now.
That's fair. There are some of the Snow 2 designations. There's technically 5 of them, and they're all labeled Snow 2 because it's just different dyes. So you've got Snow 2A through Snow 2E, and there are different characteristics of each one because the Snow 2 variety as a whole is the same design as the Obverse of 1856, which 1856 was a proof-only issue. So they basically took proof dies and remanufactured them to show 1857 and use them for business dry coins. So that's where you get the differentiation on the different Snow 2s. And that's your history lesson. That thing's wrecked. It's so wrecked. It just wants a good home.
Just want to go home.
It just wants to go home.
Oh, thinking of that saying.
14.
Oh, darn it.
Sorry, what?
Oh, thinking of that saying, Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out.
Happy Gilmore 2? I didn't. Okay. I didn't know that they were even working on one.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There's a Snow 2. That's a good one. We've got a guy that comes in that doesn't work for us, but works for somebody else, but works inside the building.
Mm-hmm.
And his last name is Gilmore. So we always call him Happy.
Oh, I knew where that was going.
Oh, yeah, you started. I'm like, I got a story about that. See, I like these versions of the Snow 9 because you can still see the marks here, but you can still see the letters through the clash.
Yeah.
These are my favorite ones. So for Christmas, I wear a Snow 9 in 1857. That's good.
I got an email from Amazon last week.
Is it a good email or a bad email?
They were asking how I was doing.
Like as a seller or as a...
No, because they haven't been coming to my house dropping off packages.
Oh, dang. We've noticed that you have not been on our route lately.
So I'm like, oh.
So this one right here says OF doubling. It's really not a doubled. It's just a repaired. The overall coin has a lot of issues, but so I think 71 is going to be overkill for this. But again, like it shows that if you know what you're looking for, you can easily find these. Easily. They just stand out. Look, here's another one. Much better condition, overall better coin. A couple dollars more than the other one, but still really easy to find. So I'm up to 8 varieties on how many pages? I'm on page 10. So that's an average of one variety, at least per page. There's class 9 or Snow 9. It's easy to find. There's another Snow 9. It's easy to find. Well, these look pretty good. What are these? What are those? What are those? I'm gonna find one of these, and it's gonna be like a hot pile of something. I'm gonna be like, oh, I think I need that. Purchase. Well, now it's mine.
Yeah, we haven't had a hot mess coin in a while. Look at that hot mess.
We're just one of those is like, I have a strong indication that I need this coin. Like right now. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we got one here. Okay, so this is clockwise doubling. Inside of the U, here's the bar on the end. And you can see it on the outside of the end here. You can see it on the T, and you can see it on the E. So that's our first. It's our first marks. So this is going to be one that we haven't identified yet tonight. So this is going to be different. So we are going to find. I think it's going to be in the. Let's see. It's on the inside of the U. So it's inside of the U, so it's going to be further back. Okay, so I should see a. I don't see it there. I'm going to go up to the E and the S in states and T, A, T, S, and S confirm. This is a Snow 17. Do I have a Snow 17? Do I need a Snow 17? I do not have a Snow 17. So Snow 17 is, let's see what it says. I mean, I don't want to spend $96 for it, though. That's the other thing. But let me read what Snow 17 says. Snow 17, according to Rick Snow's book, this one right here, this one, it is a fantastic book set. This seems to be a very scarce variety. The die flaw should be an easy identifier. This is the only 1857 double die with doubling described as counterclockwise. The direction of all double dies is described from the weakest impression to the strongest. This convention has been in use for many years. The reasoning is that the weakest impression is normally from the earliest impression of the hub on the die. This is counterintuitive to most observers, but more accurate in terms of actual die production. However, on the die, the image is reversed, so a counterclockwise rotation on a coin would be a clockwise rotation on a die. So the highest grades that they have in the book is a 63, a 62, and an AU 58. So there you go. And that's how you find it in. That's how you find a very scarce variety on an 1857 Flying Eagle in 2 hours on eBay. Man, that's solid.
You found a lot of varieties tonight.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this one though.
Yeah. But it is after 1 o'clock, and I'm falling out.
See, man. I'll be up for another 20 minutes. I'm gonna just keep talking, and then about 2.5 hours I'll cut it. So I'll be up for another 15. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for the invite on this. Good catching up with you. We'll have to do this again soon.
Yeah, we gotta cause some more eBay havoc.
Maybe get a little start a little earlier in the evening. And
no, that's fair. I mean, I just happened to be thinking about it, so
yeah, fair enough. All right, see you later, YouTube family. CJ, have a good night.
See you, Blues.
Let me know tomorrow if you pick up anything.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, brother.
See you, man.
Take care.
All right. So this is an interesting one. So I've purchased from a CoinMan 2000 before. It was a while ago, and he has some pretty good, some really good coins that he has posted. I would be curious to see if he posts this one again, or how much of an offer that he might take on this. It's got some conditional opportunities, but I think based off of the type of doubling that it is, and especially that even in the book, it's being called a scarce variety. that if I can get it lower in the sense of maybe $80, I might buy this coin. So I don't find these very often. So I'm pretty stoked that I identified this one just based off of the letters on United right here. The back has some coloring issues. This is in looks like in contact with moisture or something. But super cool find. Still snow 17. So but really, if you're building a snow collection, here's a perfect example of a 17 to pick one up. Because a lot of these varieties that the coin itself has to be in decent enough condition for you for really anybody, myself, you, anybody else who's looking for them to be able to see the markings or the diagnostics for any of these. So anytime I'm looking at a flying eagle, there's a couple of places that I look when I'm looking at diagnostics. Number one, I look at the eye. There's the vast majority of double dot obverses, DDOs, that have a shifting or offset of the eye that will indicate that there's doubling. The other thing is I'm looking at the letters. So depending on which way I go, I either go across United or I'll start with America and go backwards, because between the U and the N and the A and the bottom of and the upper side of the tail feathers, that will those factors will identify at least 8 or 9 different varieties just between those. And then the other ones that I'm looking for the 22, which is up here, the 3 and the 4, which have to do with the A, but also the wingtip right here. Snow 16 is right here in the middle. 14 is off to the side. There's one that I got recently that has a kind of like a cud or a rim damage piece right here. That's right above the E and the S. That is an indicator, a diagnostic. So that's generally how I look at it. And then for the reverse, there's only one. There's one that has like a doubling on the E, but otherwise the only one to look for on the reverse is your Snow 8, which is a multi-denominational clash. And it's going to show up right in here is where it's going to show up. Right between the O and the N, kind of just right over the top of it. So it's going to show up there. That's the only thing that I look for on the reverse. But that's no 2. This is weak. There's a lot of these that they look really good, and I love looking at high-end eagles because there's a lot of things that you can see in terms of the details. But man, I would really like to find one of these that has this much detail in the coin. This looks like it doesn't have a full strike right here, but have a full detail coin that has a variety on it, because man, that would just be real nice. It's got a weaker strike. Kind of looks like it's just missing some details. But I'm really kind of stuck on that 17 now. So I wouldn't necessarily call this an AU because of the wear on the tail feathers. I think this would maybe be a high XF. A lot of it's going to be details based off of the condition of the scent as a whole, and especially the coloration. It looks it's dirty, but it's like a corrosion kind of dirty. This one is just heavily corroded. It's just it's bad news bears. That's what that one is. A lot of the flying eagles that you'll see are going to look like this one. They've got wear on the tail feathers here, wear on the edge of the wing, and then wear right here in the middle of the eagle. That's where you're going to have wear the most, is right just in this kind of space. When you start wearing out the feathers on the upper wing, it's a generally a much lower condition, lower grade eagle. Then you got these where there's no details and it's just the outline of a bird. This one is a really poor condition, but it is a Snow 9. I mean, this isn't worth $50. This is worth like $35. I think just the overall condition is just terrible. There's damage everywhere on the rim. Would be different if it had a straight rim on it. Then yeah, it could be worth a few dollars. But overall, no, it's not going to be. So right here, I can see from the picture right here, this is going to be a Snow 16. So a Snow 16, the term that is used is cud, but that's not accurate because cuds only involve the rim. So if it was out here, it would be a cud. This is actually an interior die chip is what this is. So this damage on the die right here causes this droop right here literally right in the middle of the coin. And this is Snow 16. This is one of those, just like the Snow 9, that you can see even from a faraway picture, and you can immediately tell what it is. So Snow 16, pretty, I'll say one of the more common ones, only because of how you can find it. Just with the naked eye, you don't need any kind of magnification or anything for it. But really, really cool to find these. So we found Snow 2s, Snow 15, Snow 9s, Snow 22s, 14s. We found a bunch of different snows tonight, which is awesome because that's what I like doing. I like looking through and I like finding them. They're saying this is off-centered. It's not really off-centered. It's more misaligned because it's more heavily misaligned on one side of the coin than the other. Like this one is a little bit aligned, but this is a lot heavier misaligned. But you don't have any of the design that's coming off of it, so it's not an off-centered. An off-centered would be something that would be more outside the striking chamber, and that would really change the shape of the coin overall. Otherwise, they're just misaligned dies. There's another. I love these. I love how you can see the letters through the clashing. Love that. Love that. So good. Snow. This is Snow 9. There's another Snow 9 right there. $85. That's not bad. That could be a pretty good deal. This is one of those with the names that are counter stamped in it. That would be cool to get some kind of historical reference to, if possible. Even if it's just some dude from Brooklyn that went to war. Let's check this one out. Letters O, A, and date. Nope, don't see anything there. So I'm just going to finish this page and then we're going to call it a night. So this right here, I can see right above the S and the D. So I can immediately tell that this is a Snow 14 because of this, these diagnostics right here. So decent shape. I think $50 is probably along the lines of what the what the general market is, and it's a snow variety, so that would be a good one to find. It's a little bit too blurry to see much, which is unfortunate. Please take pictures with the coins in focus. It really helps out, because if I can't see what's on the coin, I can't buy your coin. So please, for all of the coin collectors out there, Snow 16. So if you want a Snow 16, there's a decent pickup right there. For all coin collectors out there everywhere, just take clear pictures, please, in focus, and we collectively appreciate that so very much. It looks just worn. I don't see anything that stands out on that one. All right, so I think there's only 13 pages of. No, there's more pages. So there's a bunch of pages for the Flying Eagles, but we went through basically 11 pages and found 12, 13 varieties all over the place. So it just goes to show you that you can, as long as you understand and you learn about some of the coins, you can go on eBay and you can see if they are a good deal based off of the variety and based off the condition of the coin. And if it fits within your budget, you can easily cherry pick these and pick these up for decent money to build out your collection. If this is if the snow variety is something that you're interested in, let me know. Comments in the comment section below. Right now, I carry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of 22 snows currently that I have designated. So my goal is to put together a full collection of all 22 snows. The Snow 2 that has got 5 different variations of them. I do count them as separately. So really, like, there's 27. So I got a few more to go. But it's kind of one of the things that I always look for, whether it's coin shows or eBay. eBay is my favorite because it's I can cherry pick it, any time of day. But if you have any questions on the snow varieties, what to look for, you can look at some of my older videos, or just put some comments in the comment section below, and that's what we're gonna do. So I want to thank everybody that dropped in tonight. I appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with us and hanging out with me while we caused a general chaos, coin chaos on eBay. So I will try to go live more often. It's just something that I kind of got away from a little bit, but again, thanks for everybody coming in, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.